Baby, tell me all your ghost stories. Tell us how they grieve and haunt the night. Hold me tight and tell me your ghost stories. Sing along in this haunted lullaby.
Hello everyone, welcome to Cutting Room Floor. I'm going to start off this show, this is our first show. I'm going to start it off with a very easy mainstream horror remake or reboot, whatever you want to call it. Either way, I found it to be extremely terrible. The new Nightmare on Elm Street. The problem that I have with this film isn't just the poor writing, poor acting, horrible story distortion, or any of your typical run-of-the-mill remake issues. It's founded basically in the character that now plays Freddy Krueger. Now, I have nothing against Mr. Haley. I'm sure he's a very fine actor. He just makes a horrible Freddy Krueger. I'm going to put up a picture here of Freddy from my nightmares and to the new Freddy, and we'll just see which one you find to be more imposing. Okay? Do you see what I'm saying here? This is what I'm talking about. From 1984 to 2010, we couldn't even do a physical makeup job on this guy because it looks pretty well CGI'd to me. The makeup looks horrible. Special effects look horrible. If, in fact, Freddy Krueger was CGI'd, his burns were CGI'd, it was terrible. And second of all, I had to watch the movie again because I hadn't seen it in quite some time. When they finally explain to you what it is that Freddy has done and why he is the way he is, he's running through a burnt-out old foundry, it looks like, and he's squealing like a little girl. I didn't find that to be in the least bit scary at all. If you remember the original Nightmare on Elm Street, when it explains who Freddy was and what he did, Robert Englund portrayed this extraordinarily creepy individual. He was imposing and terrifying, and he wasn't at all startled or jarred by public opinion. He was who he was. He was the root of evil, which is why he came back the way he did and killed all those teenagers in their sleep. Good times. Fantastic films. So, I guess bottom line is, I see here that they spent $35 million making this pile of crap, whereas the original Nightmare on Elm Street was produced on a budget of only $1.8 million. Now, gross profit, we're going to restart that. I'm seeing here that the new Nightmare on Elm Street, A Nightmare on Elm Street, had a budget of $35 million. Now, the original, back in 1984, had a budget of $1.8 million. Granted, in 1984, that was quite a large budget. But, once you look at the gross profit from both of these films, it is really, really pathetic. Considering the new Nightmare on Elm Street was going to bring in a whole new group of horror movie fans, and all it did was introduce a bunch of teenagers to 2 hours of recycled crap that nobody wanted to see in the first place. So I guess the moral of this story is, and as you'll find out with the more reviews that I do, remakes are not a good idea. Reboots are not a good idea. There are a few that have been done successfully, and we'll talk about them on this show, but not on this episode. So, moving on, I would like to introduce a real filmmaker. As you can see, the poster here over my right shoulder is for a film called Long Pigs, which I covered years ago, and I was able to interview the gentleman that made the film over the telephone. Great guys, great filmmakers. They have a good vision. They have an eye for originality and physical effects, which is important. If you fake something, it's obviously faked. If you use CGI to do something, it's fairly obvious. If you use a physical prop to show something, you get that raw, real feel to it. And you don't feel like you're being tricked. One of the gentlemen involved in Long Pigs, Mr. Chris Power, is an incredible filmmaker, director, and he has a new short film called Wicked Sway that will be hitting festivals starting in around December. I've had a chance to view the short film, and it's amazing. It's shocking. It's horror at its core roots. You know, it brings horror back from your 70s and 80s exploitation and slasher films, but it's got a psychological weight to it. Some of the images that you see, you only see them for a fraction of a second, but still they're burned in your mind. And again, everything is physical. Nothing is faked. Nothing is animated. It's from what I saw of it, it's an amazing project. My hat's off to you, Chris, on another great job. I can't really tell you too much without giving it away, other than I hope it comes to festivals in your area so you can see it. You can certainly view the trailer, which I'm going to run here shortly. But first, a little bit of information on the short film. It was based on a short story called Tell Jane a Story, which is pretty creepy enough if you just read the story. And if you go to wickedsway.com, you can view the trailer and you can view the actual short story, so you can read it and kind of get an idea of where Chris drew his inspiration from. Now, before I show you this trailer, I have to tell you that it is extremely disturbing, I guess. If you're not a true fan of horror, you wouldn't be used to seeing these things. But it's something you're gonna wanna see. So, enjoy.
I'm back.
Okay, so you see what I'm talking about there? Just from that little tiny, I mean, we're talking, what do we got here? 37 seconds of footage. And not even a full 37 seconds because you've got the production company logo and everything else. But just from that short amount of time, you can see what you're in for with this film. Like I said, it's shocking. It's going to throw your mind into a whole different realm of terror. But I guarantee you, from the work that I've seen from Chris before, and from what I saw from the short film itself, you are going to enjoy it. So again, look into Mr. Chris Power. He's done some great work. And I look forward to seeing more projects from him in the future. Now, onto our announcement section of the show. When I was writing for the Examiner, I did something every year around Halloween that was called the King of Halloween Contest. And what it is I want you to send me pictures or videos, whatever you want, of your Halloween yard display. Whether it be, you know, your pumpkin carvings. Let's say you do 100 pumpkin carvings every year. I want to see that kind of stuff. I want to see yard displays that were brought on through originality And if you went and bought something from a store, maybe you did something to it to alter it to make it, your own piece. I don't want to see a yard full of inflatable garbage or little wooden cutouts you staked into the ground of a ghost, a pumpkin, a cat, and a witch. That's not going to do you any good. I'm not saying that your Halloween display has to be bloody and gory and disgusting and give small children nightmares. I'm just saying I want your Halloween display to look like you put some thought into it and that you actually enjoy doing it. I have not yet figured out what prize I'll have for this year's King of Halloween winner. I know the 2 years that I did it with the Examiner, the winners both times were unanimously Josh and Belinda Lewis, simply because their display covered close to a half an acre. All of the props were hand built and then, hand painted. And that's kind of the stuff I'm looking for. If you do a haunted house setup or something like that, that's cool too. Go ahead and send that to me and we'll get you on the list. But you will at the very least get a recognition certificate as King of Halloween. So start sending me those pictures as soon as you get your display set up. I know mine's already set up. I know the reigning King and Queen of Halloween already have some of their stuff set up. So I would suggest you get on it, and I look forward to seeing your pictures. Also, in the world of music news, call it horror related or don't, doesn't make a difference to me. The only band, my favorite band, Slipknot, has a new album coming out. It will be available October 21st. It is titled .5, The Gray Chapter. If you keep up with the band, if you follow them on Facebook or on Twitter or through their website or however else you might want to follow them, even if you're stalking them, which is a little creepy, but to each his own. You have heard two of their new songs, The Negative One and The Devil and I. I'd like to share with you a clip from the music video of The Devil and I, just a real short, quick clip here. Okay, so as you can see, much like the rest of their albums, this one's going to be fantastic. Also, on a side note, Slipknot will be in Madison with Korn on November 8th. So get your tickets now because they're selling out fast. And we don't know how many shows we're going to get from Slipknot to come through the Midwest, so you're going to want to get that. If you're watching this video, you're from a different city, different country even, feel free to check the Slipknot website to find out when they will be coming to your town. You're not going to want to miss them. We don't know how many tours we have left of these amazing, amazing artists here. And that wraps it up for today. So I hope you enjoyed the first episode. Like I said, this first one, we're just kind of tooling around with it and seeing how it goes. Hopefully we get a good response and we'll keep doing it. Send me your emails, send me your comments. If there's a movie or an independent artist you want me to cover, I'll do it for you. I'm here to promote the independents. Not sure what we're going to have for the next show. I'll make sure I find a good film to rip on, a good independent to promote, and hopefully have an update, maybe some pictures of the King of Halloween contest. I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a good day.